What's up, Foxtrotters? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. Maybe consider subscribing, especially if you like Reddit, anti-MLM content, or somewhere in between. And if you're returning, hello, it's nice to see you all again. You guys look great. Yes, you person who recently started creating art despite thinking that you had no talent, or perhaps someone told you you didn't. You and your art look great. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. I am so excited to bring to you this video. Surprise! It is a Beautycounter deep dive. Now, I do know that Savannah Marie recently did a video on Beautycounter, and spoiler alert, her video is way better than this one. But I just kind of wanted to do one anyway because I just was interested in it. I was curious how Sephora could do such a thing. Not that I can afford to buy stuff from Sephora anymore anyway, but you get what I'm saying. I find it interesting regardless. So if you would like to learn about Beautycounter and kind of what's going on there and what happened with Sephora, well, hopefully I can answer some of those questions. Let's go. Before we jump into the video, let's go over to Mom's fridge and check out some fan art. This excellent piece of fan art was sent over by Natalie. Thank you so much for doing this, Natalie. This is absolutely fantastic. You are so talented and this is so cute and I love it so much. I did my best to write a script out for this one so that my thoughts would be a little more cohesive. You know what I mean? So bear with me as I attempt to read my sloppily written script. I'm kind of learning as I go. I think next time I'll try typing this because turns out I actually don't know how to read my own handwriting. Here's what we do know about Beautycounter. It was founded in 2013 by Greg Renfro. It is in fact an MLM. And they do seem to care about ingredients being natural, having actually gone to bat in 2014 for the consumers by being one of the founding members of the nonprofit Environmental Working Group's verification list, which according to Wikipedia, quote unquote, aims to help make consumer goods that do not contain toxic ingredients easily identifiable for consumers. They even created their own Nevers list, which sounds a lot like something Arbonne has done as well. And if you for a second think that any of that information sways my opinion, it does not. It sounds good on paper, but most MLMs have structured it that way intentionally. There are probably a lot of people who remember back around 2006, 2008-ish, there was a boom in supposedly, quote, green cleaning supplies. Most of them were under umbrellas of much larger companies and were very expensive, but it had the pretty green sticker of approval, so one could purchase the item knowing they were doing their part. Or were they? Quick disclaimer, I personally am in fact a major proponent for cleaner, safer household cleaning products. I just think some of the companies don't quite have their heart in the right place. You know what I mean? I don't think I need to explain that any further. Anyway, consumers began to dig up some discrepancies with many of the big brands' so-called eco-friendly products. Many of them turned out weren't as green as they pretended to be. The products were being produced in massive facilities using the same amount, if not more energy as their standard product cousins. Needless to say, much of the production by the bigger companies has relented in the light of other brands that are frankly just a hell of a lot better at the whole earth-friendly mixed with cost-effective shtick. Well, mostly. I still see some natural cleaning products on shelves with prices that floor me, but I digress. I say all of that because I think it's important to keep in mind when it comes to Beautycounter. So what sets Beautycounter apart? Well, they have a massive list of toxic ingredients that they don't put in their products, and they seem to genuinely care about the quality of the ingredients. That's how it appears. Perception really is everything, isn't it? Beautycounter's list of nevers and others like it often contain ingredients that are never in makeup anyway, like jet fuel. Yes, that was in fact on the list. This is the part where I'm reminded even more of Arbonne. Sure, having a huge list of bad ingredients that are not being used to produce the item sounds great, but by the jet fuel standard, can't anything be put on the list, thereby reducing it to a moot point? Creating a list of ingredients that never get put in makeup anyway is like telling everyone on Facebook how many drivers you allowed to merge ahead of you that day in traffic in order to get some sort of superiority clout. Like, good for you, dude. That being said, Beautycounter has had a loud and proud history of fighting for ingredient transparency, and I don't want to take credit away from that because it is overall a good thing. The part that's not a good thing is the part where the distributors make next to nothing, and part of me is kind of concerned that the all-natural non-toxic products are just a cover for the fact that it's just a regular MLM that can ruin people's lives under the guise of fake health and wealth. Allegedly. Oh, except the top 2%. Here's a breakdown of Beautycounter's compensation structure. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. Now, bear in mind, this is the 2018/2019 compensation structure. I will flash it on the screen. Hopefully editing me will be able to figure out which year exactly this is from and flash it on the screen here for you at this point. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a peek at it. All right. So we have 82%, as we can see in the blue at the very bottom, or teal, whatever color that comes across on your screen. 82.2% of the consultants, okay, the base level, made $46 per month on average. The top 25% in the consultant group, people in a month, people who are doing really good for consultants, made $138 in a month. And then in the bottom, they just made nothing. Okay, and let's look right above that into the next largest category, which is still rather small compared to the first one. This is 10% of the consultants with the senior consultant title. On average, they would earn $336 a month. $336 a month. You can't even pay rent with that. It's ridiculous. The top 25% of people who were senior consultants, who were doing the best of their group, got $591 on average per month. Are you kidding me? That also is not even rent. The people who are doing well can't even make rent. And then above that, the manager, still not making enough, still not a livable wage. I mean, we're getting into more helpful quantities of money as far as like supplementing, income and all that stuff, paying for this, that, smaller things, bills. Every little bit does count. That's true. But also, hopefully I'll be able to find it. There was a slide I found that talked about how much on average you have to spend to join these things. So taking all of it into consideration, I mean, if you're making $46 a month, but you had to spend $99 to get your kit, Lord, that is not, please, that is not worth it. Oh, and then go to the very top of this list here, the managing director, whatever that means. Their average monthly earning is $24,000. That's an incredible amount of money. How many people in the company make that much money, you wonder? 0.2%. It's not even 2%. I think earlier I said something about 2%. Not even. I was way off. It's 0.2. So I guess my thought off of all of that is just that I don't know if I care if the products are toxic or non-toxic as much as I care about the fact that the representatives, the consultants, the people who are working for the company are not making anything. They're not even making close to a reasonable or livable wage, especially in the modern society we live in. It's a joke. Like, yes, supplemental income is one thing, but they don't sell these MLMs as supplemental income. Well, they try to pretend to, but they try to say that whole full-time pay for part-time work, blah, blah spiel. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. And before anyone comes for my throat, I definitely, as I said before with the household cleaners, I am a major proponent of ingredients being better, especially if you're going to be putting something on your face, your body, your eyes, your mouth, any of that stuff. It is better to have better ingredients, no matter what. When it comes down to it, truly that is it. Less is better. Things that are less complicated tend to have less room for error and variables that bring in complications and issues, right? It's true. However, there might be some holes in that theory as well. Savannah Marie found some good stuff in her video that included some potential ingredients that were in the stuff that may or may not be awesome either. So, allegedly, okay, fine, there, I said it. So there's a lot of different questions going on, and I'm not sure if we're actually getting all the answers. And often with these MLMs, when we see them getting awards and verifications from certain bodies of science, I guess, a lot of times those groups were created by the MLM, or they're funded by a bunch of I don't know. Now we're getting deep into the conspiracy theory things that may or may not be conspiracy theories, but I think maybe I'll save that one for another day. So remembering things we've already kind of discussed, I guess, is it possible that Sephora paired with Beautycounter simply because they were in the middle of a race to gain a plethora of natural brands for their Clean at Sephora programs? Totally. Can I prove that? No. This article by James Manso, linked below, found on wwd.com, a website that focuses on beauty and fashion industry news, says that Beautycounter is partnering with the retailer on an online and in-store pop-up, which apparently is a first for Sephora, not so much Beautycounter. In this article, Manso states that it made business sense for Sephora to partner with them because they are trying to expand their natural and non-toxic products. So, I don't know. I haven't been to Sephora in a while, but I know the last time I had been in one, which was maybe about a year ago, I do recall seeing they had a shelf where it was like clean beauty, you know, where they had the products that didn't have, you know, creams, lotions, makeup, the works, brushes, things that were made that were eco-friendly, natural, healthy for you, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, not saying that any of that stuff wasn't, I recall seeing it. And it seems like in the meantime, since then, Sephora's kind of only gone further down that route, which makes sense. It's kind of a sign of the times. It shows that a lot of consumers are very interested in what goes into their products, which is a good thing, frankly. I think consumer awareness is important. You need to know what goes on your face. It's your face, for crying out loud. That being said, I still buy a lot of things from the cheap drugstore that I'm not quite sure of their origins, and that's my bad, and that's something that I personally probably also need to work on if I'm going to have such a strong ethical stance on other things, you know. But regardless, I think this is an interesting discussion. Okay, let's put a pin in that thought, or thoughts, plural, for another video. And let's go ahead and read this article by Lauren Thomas that further discusses kind of, well, to me, the real issue here, which is Sephora selling products made by an MLM, Beautycounter. That to me is, at least what I have perceived from others, is kind of like the main issue. Like, we know an MLM is an MLM, but seeing stores that we actually quote unquote respect selling the products, that's the issue, right? In an article titled "Bono-backed Beautycounter is moving into Sephora, bringing its clean makeup to the masses" by Lauren Thomas, link will be in description below. They start off by saying, a beauty brand with a cult-like following, Beautycounter, is moving into the makeup retail giant Sephora in a bid to bring its clean mission to the masses. Well, just saying, that very beginning descriptive term really sets the tone and is probably never a good sign. Just saying. The companies announced the tie-up Tuesday, the same day Beautycounter was named to CNBC's 2020 Disruptor 50 list of the world's most innovative startups. Oh, I see. On August 7th, it will launch an assortment of some of its most popular products, such as its vitamin C serum and overnight face peel, in Sephora stores. The products will hit Sephora's website even sooner, on July 7th, for a limited time. So if any of you have seen these products out there, let me know. I am interested down below. Have you guys seen this stuff? Has anybody you know purchased any or heard anything about it? Or have you tried any? I'm absolutely curious. I can't believe that such a big company is linking arms with a multi-level marketing company. It's just not a good look, and I'm gonna hope it's some sort of extreme oversight. Fingers crossed. We feel strongly there are times to do strategic awareness around the importance of clean ingredients, Beautycounter founder and chief executive Greg Renfro told CNBC in a phone interview. We have an army of advocates, and we want more voices in our movement. Sephora has been a force for quite some time. They have taken a position on clean that is unparalleled in the retail industry to date, Renfro said. It's an opportunity to really validate the movement for clean. Well, I mean, I don't want to knock a good thing when it's a good thing. Clean products are a good thing. It's just, as I stated before, when it came to that cleaning product boom that occurred in the, mid to late aughts, there was just a lot of stuff being sold, marketed as green and all that stuff, and you'd pay extra money for it, and then it turned out it wasn't even that much better than everything else. It was just like trading one bad thing for another. For LVMH-owned Sephora, the partnership advances its commitment to stocking its shelves with more clean beauty products, building on an industry-wide trend towards using only safe and sustainable personal care products. Beautycounter's merchandise will be featured online on Sephora's clean makeup page, alongside brands such as Kosas and Supergoop. We also know our clients continue to seek high-performing, clean beauty products, Artemis Patrick, Executive Vice President and Chief Merchandising Officer at Sephora, said in a statement. Beautycounter's business has been unconventional from the start, in that it has skewed the first floor makeup counters of the traditional department stores in favor of a model more akin to the cosmetics giant Avon. Yeah, it's a strange move if I say so myself. Headquartered in Santa Monica, California, it launched as a direct-to-consumer business in 2013, selling through its own website and web of consultants, of which it has more than 60,000 today. It was first founded by Renfro in 2011. Oh, interesting. The article I originally found said 2013, so we'll have to edit that in the video early on. Hopefully editing me takes care of that. Many of these consultants are so-called micro-influencers, according to Renfro, and they tout Beautycounter's merchandise through their social media accounts with thousands of followers or over virtual Zoom gatherings. They receive up to 35% commission on their retail volumes, she said, and many of the consultants will actually build out their own teams and sell together, Renfro added. I feel like that number for the commission percentage is maybe slightly padded, and we also don't know how many people got the commission. Was it like one person? Because we saw the breakdown. People aren't making any money. Beautycounter currently has 3 boutiques in Denver, in New York City, and a seasonal pop-up in Nantucket, with another set to open in Los Angeles later this year. The beer bug, which forced many retail storefronts to temporarily shut, has validated Beautycounter's strong e-commerce presence even more so. This has been 3 years of growth online compressed into 4 months, the CEO said, adding that Beautycounter recently sold out of its vitamin C serum in 2.5 weeks. This just kind of validates what I've already been concerned about, that MLMs are probably receiving an influx of consultants, of new downlines, people who are probably hard up and desperate for money, because that's a lot of people right now. A ridiculous quantity of people are out of work right now. It's, at least here in the States, it's absolutely outrageous. Something I haven't seen before, and I know my parents haven't seen before. So I know that the fact that this is going on at this current time, it's probably very beneficial for these MLMs. And this is just proof. And that makes me feel weird. And maybe that's kind of the biggest problem I'm feeling about all of this, is because it feels gross now that Sephora has kind of like shared the same hot tub with this MLM, if you know what I mean. Like the money, they're sharing money, they're helping each other make money, and that just sits funny with me, and it is disappointing. And as a grown-up who makes their own money, you are free to spend your money however you please, wherever you please. You can buy makeup wherever you want to buy it from. It is absolutely your freedom, your right, your choice to do that. But stuff like this does make you think, and I think it opens an interesting dialogue that may or may not be important. There's other more important dialogues going on right now. I definitely agree, but in time, I think maybe this is a discussion and dialogue we all definitely need to have about consumerism and where our dollars are going and what we're even putting on our face and yada yada. And there we go, off the soapbox. Okay. So from my perspective, just a regular internet nobody looking in from the outside, it appears to me like there are 2 options for what has gone on / transpired with this whole Sephora Beautycounter conundrum. The first option is that there was some major oversight within Sephora themselves, within the company, within some level, in some department. Someone somewhere missed something, and this got pushed through because all they saw was the mission statement and maybe the fact that the company had a few viral products that people seemed to really like all at once, and they saw that and that was it, and they just wanted to get more products on the shelves, right? So that's one option. The second option, which frankly is much more likely, is that the higher-ups in Sephora knew exactly what was going on with Beautycounter, and they knew the structure, and they just simply did not care. Probably just for money and to get those things on the shelf and to stack their clean products line, etc., etc. And if you are someone who likes Sephora or works for Sephora and you do not agree with me and you think what I just did was a real hot take, I totally understand, and feel free to leave your opinion down below. I'd love to hear a difference of opinion in this, just because it's always good to hear both sides. I definitely know how I feel, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think about all of this. Everybody out there, I'm curious. As people who buy makeup, are you someone who buys makeup? Are you someone who's even interested in makeup? Where do you buy your makeup at? Do you buy it at Sephora? Does this change how you feel about Sephora? You know what I mean? This is something, at least for me, if I were still buying makeup from a place like Sephora, it would make me question where my dollars were going. And I think that's important for all of us to know. And maybe that's the theme of this video. Maybe that's why I hate MLMs so much, is because nobody knows truly where any of the money is going. And that really stresses me out. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked that video, please hit that like button down below. If you have any good comments or suggestions, please leave it down below as well. I love to read what you guys have to say. I love interacting with you all. If you've not already, hit that subscribe button and become a Foxtrotter. Come join the den. Den Mother would love to have you. And special shout out to all my patrons. You guys are fantastic people. All right, folks, as always, until the next video, take care.